Before Westminster Bridge was open, Kennington Road was only a bridle path. After 1750, a new road was laid down from the bridge, forming a direct link to Brighton. As a consequence, Kennington Road, where I spent most of my boyhood, boasted some fine houses of architectural merit, fronted with iron-grilled balconies from which its occupants could once have seen George IV coaching on his way to Brighton. By the middle of the 19th century, most of the homes had deteriorated into rooming houses and apartments. Some, however, remained inviolate and were occupied by doctors, successful merchants, and vaudeville stars. On Sunday morning, along the Kennington Road, one could see a smart pony and trap outside a house, ready to take a vaudevillian for a 10-mile drive as far as Norwood or Merton, stopping on the way back at the various pubs, the White Horse, the Horns, and the Tankard in the Kennington Road. As a boy of 12, I often stood outside the Tankard watching these illustrious gentlemen alight from their equestrian outfits to enter the lounge bar, where the elite of vaudeville met, as was their custom on a Sunday to take a final one before going home to the midday meal. How glamorous they were, dressed in checkered suits and grey bowlers, flossing the diamond rings and tie pins.
¿A quién les dices? A mis alumnos.
At 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, the pub closed and its occupants filed outside and dallied a while before bidding each other adieu. And I would gaze fascinated and amused, for some of them swung it with a ridiculous air. I was born on 16th April 1889 at 8 o'clock at night in East Lane, Walworth. Soon after, we moved to West Square, St. George's Road, Lambeth. According to Mother, my world was a happy one. Our circumstances were moderately comfortable. We lived in 3 tastefully furnished rooms. One of my early recollections was that each night, before Mother went to the theatre, Sidney and I were lovingly tucked up in a comfortable bed and left in the care of the housemaid. In my world of 3.5 years, all things were possible. If Sidney, who was 4 years older than I, could perform legerdemain and swallow a coin and make it come out through the back of his head, I could do the same. So I swallowed a halfpenny and Mother was obliged to send for a doctor. Every night after she came home from the theatre, it was her custom to leave delicacies on the table for Sidney and me to find in the morning, a slice of Neapolitan cake or candies, with the understanding that we were not to make a noise in the morning, as she usually slept late. Mother was a soubrette on the variety stage, a mignon in her late 20s, with fair complexion, violet blue eyes, and long, light brown hair that she could sit upon. Sidney and I adored our mother. Though she was not an exceptional beauty, we thought her divine looking. Those who knew her told me in later years that she was dainty and attractive and had a compelling charm. She took pride in dressing us up for Sunday excursions, Sidney in an Eton suit with long trousers, and me in a blue velvet with blue gloves to match. Such occasions were orgies of smugness as we ambled along the Kennington Road. London was sedate in those days. The tempo was sedate. Even the horse-drawn tram cars along Westminster Bridge Road went at a sedate pace and turned sedately on a revolving table at the terminal near the bridge. In Mother's prosperous days, we also lived in Westminster Bridge Road. Its atmosphere was gay and friendly with attractive shops, restaurants and music halls. The fruit shop on the corner facing the bridge was a galaxy of colour, with its neatly arranged pyramids of oranges, apples, pears, and bananas outside, in contrast to the slim grey Houses of Parliament directly across the river. This was the London of my childhood, of my moods and awakenings, memories of Lambeth in spring, of trivial incidents and things, of riding with mother on top of a horse bus trying to touch passing lilac trees, of the many-coloured bus tickets, orange, blue, pink and green, that bestrewed the pavement where the trams and buses stopped, of rubicund flower girls at the corner of Westminster Bridge making gay boutonnieres, their adroit fingers manipulating tinsel and quivering fern, of the humid odour of freshly watered roses that affected me with a vague sadness, of melancholy Sundays and pale-faced parents and their children escorting toy windmills and coloured balloons over Westminster Bridge, and the maternal penny steamers that softly lowered their funnels as they glided under it. From such trivia, I believe my soul was born.